And just take a minute and kind of wiggle through your body. Head rock aside, give yourself a little bit of movement in that spine. And just notice what's happening. And notice where there might be restriction or resistance, and where there's ease. Always where there's resistance, on the other side of that, there's ease and flow. So just notice that. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Blow it out through your mouth. And one more time, deep breath in. And blow it out. So your hands can be face down on your knees or face up, dropping out of those shoulders, growing long in the crown. And we're going to start with 3-part breath. So filling the bottom of the lungs, the center, all the way to the top. Pausing and exhaling the same. Exhale. And again, inhale, 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 exhale, exhale, exhale. So I'm going to grow quiet and let you guys work with the inhale and the exhale. And we're going to do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. And last one, nice deep inhale. Exhaling. And the next inhale, inhaling the hands up overhead, reaching far away from the body. So as if you're really lengthening through those arms, rolling those shoulder blades back. Exhaling, heading all the way to the right. Give a nice long exhale, opening that side body. Feeling those ribs come apart, opening. Placing the back of your hand on the floor so you're not leaning on it. And then just find your breath here. See if you can notice how the 3-part breath is different in a side angle pose. So that right lung is actually bigger than the left lung, so it's collapsed a little bit. You won't be breathing as deeply as it normally would when it's fully expanded. That's okay. Notice what's happening in the pelvic floor as you're doing this. Did it take a little vacation? Play with that pelvis a little bit. See if you can kind of roll back a little bit as you engage your pelvic floor. Do a little pelvic tilt there. And on the next inhale, inhaling up and exhaling the other way. Feeling that side body opening. So my intention today is to really bring warrior into the poses today. And just really work with our balance, finding balance during this time where there might be a little bit of imbalance. Our life is finding a new rhythm, a new normal. Breathing in and out. As we learn to sink down into our root chakra, which the root chakra is the very base chakra, base of the sacrum. It runs down, out from between the legs, connecting into the earth. Breathing in and out. Excellent. Inhaling, coming back to center. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to the right, twisting through it. Feeling all those muscles opening and working. The ones that soften when the opposite ones are working. So as you're twisting one direction, one side of the body is working harder and the other side is softening into it. Notice what happens when you bring that pelvic floor into it. You lengthen through the crown. Yep, and it helps lift through the spine. Inhaling, exhaling. Beautiful. Exhaling the other direction. Dropping out of those shoulders. Finding your breath. Noticing the expansion of the lungs. The shrinking of the lungs as you exhale. Just give yourself a slight tip in the chin to open the back of the neck. And then turn that head and look over your shoulder. Breathing into it. Softening into it. Nowhere to go. Being present in your twist. Following your breath. Remembering to breathe. Excellent. Inhaling the hands up. Exhaling, we're going to go straight forward as if you're swan diving forward over those hips. Engage that core to protect the low back. And as you find a spot where it becomes about perfect for you to really dive into those hips, sink a little farther and then come out of it just a little bit. So it's almost like you're walking up to your edge and then coming out of it. You can set your hands on the floor, give yourself some support. Leaving your arms wide is a nice option as well. That feels good to you. Tip your chin, lengthen through the back of the neck, growing long in the crown. So it's not so much a rolling of the chin to the chest as much as it is the lengthening in the back of your neck. Breathe into it. Exhaling, sinking a little bit lower. Notice how the hips begin to open as you soften your jaw and you sink into this. Just notice. Yes. Inhaling, coming halfway up, putting your hands on your knees, coming all the way up. Exhaling into cow, seated cow. So it's as if you're arching forward. And then exhaling back into cat. I might have said that backwards. So you're going to inhale into cow, exhale into cat. So as you come forward and let that belly button guide you forward and you open your heart, it's a nice deep inhale. And then exhaling back into cow. Beginning, you okay over there?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Cramp.
So you might want to go drink some emergency. Inhaling up and get some magnesium. And exhaling back. Can you breathe? Gentle breaths. That's better. Good. Inhaling up. I'm glad he's here and not online. And exhaling back. Remembering to support the body in whatever way you need. If you need water, drink water. If you need some electrolytes, get your electrolytes. If you need Shavasana, you can go there. Inhaling one more time. Exhaling all the way back. And coming back right into the center, going long, rolling those shoulders back and down. Now with our chin, we're going to drop our chin all the way to the chest. So we're going to stay tall in the rest of the body. The pelvic floor is engaged. We're tipping back in the pelvis, kind of sitting back into that pelvic bowl. And letting that spine grow long, bringing our hands out wide and just placing them on the back of your head and allowing that to just lengthen through either side of the muscles down the spine. So this is not about forcing the head down. This is about allowing the weight of your hands just to encourage it to soften. Great. Inhaling, coming up, letting those hands come to the top of your head. Exhaling, dropping your ear to the right shoulder. Left hand is going to come down to the floor. And you're going to lengthen through those scalings. So from your ear to your shoulder, you're going to feel that grow long, pressing through the palm of your hand. You might feel this. I feel this all the way down my arm. A lot of times when we do work with our hands out in front of us, we have a tendency to rise up through our shoulders. This is a beautiful way to encourage those muscles to soften and allow those shoulders to drop. Releasing that head, inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling that other arm up. Other ear to the shoulder. Palm to the floor. So it should be your right palm down. I'm not sure. Whichever one you didn't do, do the other one. Dropping it down. So not so much about pulling as about allowing the weight of your hand to just encourage that neck to open. Nice. Excellent. Inhaling up, releasing that hand. Now we're going to look over our right shoulder. So it's just going to be a twist in the neck. And then we're going to drop our chin down and allow it to travel across the front of our body to the right shoulder. Nose is going to come up, and without tipping your head backwards, it's almost as if you're lifting your head to the sky to look at the clouds in the sky and circling it back around where the chin comes to the shoulder, rolling it across the chest. We're going to do 3 circles this direction. So the best way that I had a teacher to describe this is as if you're drawing a big circle with your nose. There was a magic marker on the end of your nose and you were drawing a circle with it. This protects C1, protects the neck joints. Yeah, and one more. So if you're going really fast, see what it would feel like if you were just to slow it down. Follow your breath. 3-part inhale, inhale, inhale. And then as you reach the bottom of the circle, begin your exhale. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And as you reach the top of the circle, pause. Just pause right there. Bring your nose back to center. Turn your head the opposite direction. So we're going to go to the left shoulder, the other shoulder, whichever one you didn't do. Drop that chin down. Rotate it across your chest. This whole time, I'm working my palms to the floor because I really need this through those muscles that attach to the first rib. Circling it up, the nose is going up as if you're looking in the sky. Circling around, dropping it down. Bringing your chin across the chest. Inhaling, bringing it up. One more circle, you can do it. Exhaling, down. And inhaling, coming up. There you go. And back to the top of the circle, bring your nose back to center. Take a breath or two here. Notice what's happening in your body. Know where to go. Nothing to do. And now we're going to just move right into tabletop. You're going to do a couple cat-cows in the tabletop. A little bit of hip opening, and then we'll move right on into our practice. Our body's getting pretty warm. So hands underneath your shoulders, elbows facing each other. Let's begin to do some circles around the wrist and around the knee. And if your knees don't like this, honor that. Just be in tabletop. That's okay. Lengthening long through your crown, looking good. Excellent. And reverse it. Go the other way. Other way. Nice, gentle circles. Just getting a little bit of movement in the joints. Inviting them all to come into play here. And then coming right into tabletop, we're going to drop straight into cow. Nice deep inhale. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling back into cat. And if you want to create some movement with this, move forward, inhaling, move back into exhale. So you get kind of a scooping feeling happening. So there's a little bit of flow happening today in the movement, flowing, going with the flow, following the breath. And one of the things that makes going with the flow easier is when you breathe. It helps the flow. Excellent. Coming back into tabletop. We're going to just inhale and then exhale. Look over that left shoulder. See if you can see your hip. Inhale, center. Exhale, looking over the right shoulder. Do 2 more of these. Inhaling, looking over the left shoulder. Exhaling forward, inhaling, exhaling, looking over the right shoulder. Beautiful. Lowering down right onto those elbows. So you can do this 2 different ways. We're going to do a little bit of dolphin for allergies. So this helps drain the sinuses. It helps kind of clear everything out. So if this is what works for you, just sink straight back into kind of a extended child's pose. But if you have the space, curl your toes under and lift up into dolphin and let your forehead drop down. It might touch the mat, that's okay. Work through those shoulders, find your breath. And this is less about lengthening the legs and more about opening the heart space, opening the lungs. Breathe into it. Find your breath. Two more breaths, you can do it. Sink a little deeper into that. Find your edge, work into it. And exhaling, moving forward, lowering those knees down. Sinking back into child's pose. This doesn't have to be quite such a deep stretch as much as it is about letting go of those shoulder joints. Do a little rocking here. Be mindful of your knees. And then begin to find your way back up into tabletop. So finding your tabletop, nice strong tabletop here. Curl those toes under. We're going to exhale up into downward facing dog. And we're going to do a little bit of walking through the heels. Just walk it out. Give those legs a little bit of space. And then begin to walk yourself forward into standing forward fold. Here it is, right here. Dropping all the way down out of your head. Let go of those arms. Maybe cross them at your elbows. Let it hang. Let everything hang down. Pour everything out into the earth. Find your breath. Lengthening through those hamstrings. Releasing the arms and rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Do it slow. Maybe a little slower. Coming all the way. Bring those shoulders up to your ears and then roll them back and down your back. There it is, right there. So let's just take a second here. And I'm just going to turn and face you so you can see me if you're not sure what I'm doing. Let's bring our arms out to a T position right here. And bring that left arm across the body and drop out of the shoulder. And let's just kind of open up these shoulders a little bit. Excellent. We're going to inhale it, make a big circle around, bring them back out, and bring the right shoulder over and drop it down. Breathing into it. Nowhere to go. Excellent. Inhaling, making a big circle, bringing them both back behind you. Take a hold of the right hand, takes a hold of the left wrist, and just pull that arm across your back body. So you've got this happening. And then let that ear drop, the opposite ear drop to the shoulder. Just like that. Really open the neck. And then release it down, switch hands, and go the other direction. And just notice how the right shoulder is different than the left shoulder. One side is always different. We most likely, our dominant hand has a tendency to be a little tighter, not always, but we have a tendency to use it more frequently. Excellent. Inhaling, releasing it down, bringing those arms up, crossing them around the body, giving yourself a big hug. After you've got that hug going on, lift up in the elbows. Beautiful. Inhaling, switching the arms. So whichever one was on the bottom, put the other one on top. Put the bottom one on top. If you don't remember, if it feels the same, change it. Great job. Inhaling, opening the arms, setting them down. We're going to be at the front of our mat. We're going to inhale our hands up. And we're going to exhale, and we're going to swan dive forward, bending your knees, bringing your hands on either side of your feet, and stepping the left foot straight back into high lunge. So we're going to go right into this. So we're going to sink down, bring that left hip forward, right hip back, sinking down. Now we're going to take a few minutes of breaths here. So let's do like 10 slow, long breaths. And with each breath, exhale and see if you can sink a millimeter lower. So just a little bit. It's more about the intention of sinking down and feeling this whole hip girdle open. The psoas of the left leg, the hamstrings of the right leg, squaring the pelvis off. And if you find yourself beginning to pant, slow down. If you have blocks and you want to use them, that's fine, you can. Five more breaths. One more breath. And on the next inhale, step that foot in a half a step so you can set the heel down, keeping your knee bent, being mindful of your knees, okay? So as you keep that knee bent, we're gonna rise straight up into warrior one, sinking down into that knee. Let that, so what's going to happen here is your knee is going to travel to your little toe, but as if you're working to bring your inner thighs sort of together to square off that hips, those hips. That makes sense, kind of. So it's kind of, I think you can see me. It's kind of like opening the knee, but pulling in together, because then it brings that hip square, okay? Find your balance. Imagine your root chakra is like a funnel, and the apex of it, the tip of the funnel, comes right up in between your legs, and then the energy flows down and out, and it's a beautiful red vortex supporting you, holding you up. So the muscles are not having to work because energetically you're being supported. So breathe into that. Dropping out of your shoulders, bringing your belly button into your spine. 2 more breaths. Inhale through those fingertips, exhale, open right up into warrior 2. So here we are in warrior 2. Take a quick look down. Make sure that your heel is in line with the arch of your other foot. So the right foot is forward in my body. That may or may not be which foot you have forward, but whatever heel is in front, make sure it lines up with the arch of your back foot. Hands are parallel, or what feels parallel in your body. Now, as if you're reaching for each opposite wall, lengthen it out, really stretch it out. Feel those arms grip your bones. Sink into that front knee without passing your ankle. Breathing into it, warrior 2. So leaning forward, that's warrior in the future. Bring it to there. If you lean back, that's warrior in the past. It's going to be warrior in the present, sinking straight down. And then we're going to slide across the body, dropping arm onto our leg, and bring the other arm up over your head. Now go straight up to start with. How's everybody's shoulders? If you need to give yourself a little break, you can. You can do that, it's okay. So with this top hand, we're going to bring it behind us, right behind us. And with this front hand, we're going to scoop it under our leg. Now, in a really stretchy world, they could grab each other's hands. Okay, so you get a little bit of this twist going on. So you're working, I'm going to adjust Carrie. He's going to fall on his head otherwise. So bend this arm. There you go. As if you're going to reach up. You got it. He did it. When you have super stretchy long arms, it's really easy. It's also really great when you are super flexible in the spine. So we're still breathing in this. And it's, if you find yourself wanting to fall forward, don't reach so hard with that front arm. Pull that top shoulder back. This is more about twisting it open. Releasing that top arm, bringing the bottom arm back on your leg, bringing that top arm all the way over. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Woo, yes, breathe into it. Excellent. Inhaling, arm back up, lifting yourself up, hands come out, tipping back. Give that top arm a break. Let the bottom arm go to the back, dancing warrior. Spin that heart open to the sky. You're still sinking forward into your knee. So this is where we kind of want to pull out of our knee, but continue to sink forward. This strengthens the quad muscles of the leg. Breathing into it. Excellent. 2 more breaths. Excellent. Right here, we're going to come back to warrior 2. And then we're gonna spin back forward. And this is the tricky fun part. Engage your core, bringing that back foot forward. We're gonna head straight forward, pouring over that front foot and coming up in to warrior three, right here. It's a balance. So if it's not balancing for you today, it's okay to let your toe be down and let this be warrior three for you. Okay? So you can let that toe be on the floor. Let it be about strengthening the leg. Or you can come into balance and come into warrior three. Find your breath. Watch yourself if you have furniture around you in your room, just to be safe. Make sure you're safe. Safety first. Find your breath. Inhaling, stepping that foot up to meet you and coming right in to tall mountain. Yes. Hands come down, give them a break. Hands on your hips. Begin to circle them around. Find your breath. Feel it calming down. Reverse it, other way. Coming back to mountain, bringing your hands down beside you. Inhaling those hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Stepping back into high lunge with the right foot. So now you have your left foot forward. Okay? I'm going to turn around so I'm not giving you my backside. Left foot is forward. Sink down into that knee. So same thing here. Sinking into that knee. Pulling that right hip forward, left hip back. Dropping out of your shoulders. Lengthening through the crown of your head, breathing. Finding your breath. Slowing it down. Finding the silence in the breath. The power in the holding of the posture. 5 more. Slowing it down. One more to go. You can do it. Inhaling, stepping that back foot forward, just a half a step. And if you have to build yourself up by one hand on your leg and the other, then do that coming into warrior one, sinking into it. And if you're healing or you're becoming strong somewhere that maybe hasn't been strong, give yourself the space to allow that to happen slowly, breathing into it, dropping out of your shoulders. And if your arms get tired, let them come down, bring them back up. It's okay. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Inhaling, opening up into warrior two. I a lot of times have to release my back foot a little bit when I spin out of one and go into two. If things are talking to you, honor them. Give yourself a break. Lengthening through both those arms, really reach it. There you go. Grip those muscles around the bone. Sink a little lower into that knee. Breathe into it. Inhaling, sliding across the body. Arm comes down, top arm comes up. There you go. So we might be opposite of each other. It's okay. And if arm up is too much, bring your arm behind you. Give yourself a break. Give that arm a break. Wrap that top arm behind you. And as if you're going to reach for the other hand, You can reach between your legs and reach for it, but keep twisting. And if you tumble, this is about balance too. So it's helpful to find one spot and look at it. It might be a spot on the floor. Might be, it's easier for me to look down than it is to look up. Might be a spot for you straight up. Have 4 more breaths. Last one. Hand comes back under the leg, inhaling that top arm up and reach over the ear. Make it a nice, long, lateral move. So we did a bunch of twisting the other day, twisting the opposite direction. So this is twisting backwards, which is good. Breathing into it. Excellent. Inhaling the hand up, lifting straight up, coming right here into Warrior 2. Now think back down into your Warrior 2. Remember what it feels like. I notice in my body that the left side is a little less strong than the right side. It's okay, I'm going to give it the space and time. And I'm going to sink straight down. I'm looking a little like the warrior in the future. So I'm going to bring myself back a little bit, lengthen my head up, drop out of my shoulders. Inhaling, I'm going to turn and come into Warrior 1 right here. So moving from Warrior 1 into Warrior 3 is really about core strength. So be mindful of it. If your core is not super strong yet, mine's still learning how to be strong again, you can find your way into Warrior 3. You can bring your hands down, step that back foot in a little bit, and then go into Warrior 3. And my left knee is still healing, so I may not have the strength to hold my body. Give yourself permission to be where you are. Find a point to look at it. Lock in it. Drop into Warrior 3. Here's Warrior 3 real quick. Here's Warrior 3 in my body. And honor what's happening. Give yourself space to adjust. And if balance is not with you today, that's okay too. Maybe you don't need your arms. Maybe you just need to work on the strength in your leg. That's okay. On the next inhale, step that foot in right next to you, coming back into mountain pose, dropping out of your shoulders, engaging your core. Exhaling, lower the hands down. There you go, good job. Let it be what it is in your body. Close your eyes. Notice what it feels like to take a standing break. This is the posture we're in most of the time. What does it feel like to stop? Close your eyes. Breathe. Excellent. So we're going to move through that one more time. We're going to do it the opposite direction. And if you guys need to go to child's pose, go to child's pose. Inhaling. Exhaling. This time we're going to step the right foot back first and go to the left foot and come down into lunge, high lunge. We're going to just pass through high lunge, bring that back foot in and rise up into Warrior 1. On the exhale, we're going to open into 2. On the inhale, we're going to slide across the body and drop that arm down. And exhale, bring that arm all the way over our ear. And then we're going to inhale it up. And we're going to exhale and just reach behind you. Twist yourself open. This time, instead of going for your hand, Reach for the back of your other arm. You may or may not reach it. Look up to the ceiling. What does that feel like? Inhaling that hand back up. Exhaling, lifting up. Coming back, dropping back into dancing warrior. Inhaling back into warrior 2. Exhaling back into warrior 1. Sink down into it. Inhaling, preparing for 3. Exhaling, heading into 3. Have an inhale and exhale in 3. And then exhale, that foot's going to come down. Exhaling, hands down. Take a quick break. Inhaling, hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive down. Hands fly down on either side of your feet. Exhaling, stepping the right foot back. Right here. Sink into lunge. Inhale. Exhale, step that back foot in. Inhaling, rising up. Warrior 1. Exhaling into 2. Inhaling. Exhaling, sliding across the body. Hand comes up all the way up and over. You got it. Inhaling, the hand's going to come back behind you. Sink into that knee. Just a little flow work here. Exhale, sinking, spinning that shoulder open. Beautiful. Inhaling that hand back up. Lifting yourself up. Exhaling back into dancing warrior. Inhaling, coming back to warrior 1. Exhaling, now into warrior 1. Sorry, I was a little ahead of myself. Inhaling, preparing for warrior 3. Exhaling into warrior 3. Inhaling, coming back into standing mountain. Exhaling, hands down. Take a break. This time we're going to change it out. Inhaling, hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive down. Inhaling, halfway up. Exhaling, stepping back into downward facing dog. Give a nice full expression of dog. Just one nice yummy dog. And if you want to, you can stay here for a minute or two. And if you're ready for a break, lower your knees down, come all the way to the floor, coming down into child's pose. Here it is, right here. Breathing into it. Beautiful work. Taking a break. Bring everything that's coming up for you out into the earth. Knowing that there's no wrong way. Follow your breath. Inhaling, we're going to come back up and just find your way onto your belly. So, moving into your belly, wiggle around, turning your head one direction or the other. Just pay attention to where you've turned your head, because this is going to be the starting point of where your head is. Okay? Lengthen through the left leg. Lengthen through the right leg. We're going to inhale and bring our head up. And you can have your chin on the mat, or you can just have it slightly forward. Now, from right here, you're going to engage your core and feel your tailbone flatten so that your back is flat. Okay? Two options here. You can press your hands straight up, and this can be your posture right here. Belly button to the spine. Growing long in the crown. Feeling those triceps working, but feeling those back muscles working as well as the pelvic floor. And breathing into it. If you're ready for the next one, bring your hands behind you, lift up and lift those arms up too. So this would be level 2. Okay, I'm staying here at level 1, but I wanted to give you the option. Find your breath. Notice which hand you're hanging on with. Because the next time we're going to do the other hand. So breathe into it. Two more breaths. And exhaling, releasing the hands, lowering down, turning your head the opposite direction. You may not hear me for a second. Take a little break. Release the shoulders. Let everything go. Release the core, release the feet, let the heels fall open. Soften, clear into the earth. Let everything go. Holding on to nothing. Trusting that you're being held. Held by Mother Earth. Excellent. On the next inhale, bring your chin back to forward. Lengthen through that left foot and the right foot. Sometimes when we take a break from everything, then we have to re-lengthen. Engage that core. Feel that pubic bone press into the floor. Inhale the arms up. Take a hold of the opposite hand. It's going to feel funny. And if you weren't holding your hands, that's fine. Go back to level 1 and lift up a little bit higher. Find your breath. Bringing 3-part breath in. Dropping out of your shoulders, 2 more breaths, you can do it. Exhaling, lowering down, turning your head the opposite direction. There it is, right there. Release everything. Release those heels, let them drop open. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Finding deep gratitude for Mother Earth, holding us, supporting us, always there for us. Excellent. Inhaling, turning the chin back to the front, bringing the hands up underneath the shoulders, drawing the elbows in. Lengthening through those feet again. Pelvic floor goes up, pubic bone goes down. Slide that tailbone down, roll those shoulders back. And we're gonna head into Cobra. And if Cobra is too much for you, do Sphinx. That's elbows under your shoulders. So lifting up, being mindful of how far enough. Elbows are in, shoulders are down, crown is long. Play with this a little bit. See where your sweet spot is. Find your breath. Exhaling, lowering down. And then inhaling, pressing back into child's pose. Opening your knees, pressing all the way back. Lengthen through those arms. Drinking it in. work. Inhaling, coming back up to seated position. I'm going to do a couple more hip openers. So bringing my right leg would be your left leg. Bringing your left leg on the bottom. So it's good. We're going to stack our legs first. So make sure you have your sit bones underneath you. If you have to pull the flesh out of the way, that's okay. Dropping that right knee down, bringing the left leg up over on top of it. And it might look like this because I'm really tight in my hips. I used to be able to do this really cool like and it would stack really neat. But be mindful if this is hard on your knees. If you have to bring your foot out wider or out in front of you further, that's okay. The trick is giving your body space to let the hips open, okay? So no judgment, be gentle with your body. Let it be what it is. Yep, that works too. If you need to straighten your legs and just cross it across your body like this, that's okay. And drawing forward, that's okay. It's about opening the hips. And if you're dehydrated, I promise you, your hips will cramp. Because hips are big muscles. They take lots of hydration. Find your breath, go long in your crown. Soften into this. What can you let go of in your pelvic floor that you've been hanging on to? Our junk drawer. The junk drawer of our memories, of our ideas that are useful and maybe not useful. Excellent. Inhaling with that top leg, bring it all the way across the body. Draw it in. This just catches some of the deep rotator muscles. Breathe into it, growing tall. My shoulders are wanting to help me. Shoulders are not helpful when we're opening the hips. Not their job, not their lane. Breathing into it. Releasing it down, opening that foot wide. Keeping that other foot kind of still in front of you. And just give that leg a little rocking, a little space, rock it back and forth. It's still a round joint in there. It loves to be rocked. It loves to be jiggled. Excellent. And we're going to switch it out. So now that left leg is going to come out in front of you. And this is the true test. How is the left side different from the right side? So it takes me a minute to soften into this. Being mindful to let the body open in its own time. And if you're there, drop nice and tall. This posture builds a ton of heat for me. Woo. Growing up nice and tall. Letting the body open in its own time. And, you know, maybe the body won't open, and that's okay too. Notice if you're hanging on, or if it's kind of a subconscious, unconscious hanging on. Sometimes I notice that it's like, oh, I'm the one clenching. What would it feel like if I let that clenching go? Excellent. Bringing that leg across the body. Sitting straight up. Feeling it deep in those rotators. You might bring that knee up in close to your chest. Releasing that knee down gently. Opening that leg wide. Keeping that left leg in. Giving it a little space, rock it back and forth, jiggle it. Muscles love to be moved. They really love it when somebody else moves them. But when it's just us and we're here, we can do it. Great. And then bring both feet out in front of you. Shake it out. Shake it out. And wherever you are on your mat, begin to think about how you're going to get down to lying on your back. Do you want to do a down dog and 3 more warriors? You can do that. Or you can just spin around and lower yourself straight down onto your back. Oh, sometimes the floor feels so, so yummy. Really drink in that yumminess. Find that appreciation for the floor. Walk those feet in close to your behind. Imagine that you're putting a block between your knees. Hang on to that block. Inhale, press into your feet. Engage that core and lift up into bridge. Let your hands be palms down to give you some support. And then exhale, roll down. We're going to do 3 of these with movement. We're going to inhale and roll up and press down. And exhaling, rolling down. Releasing out. And this time, which is our 3rd one, we're going to inhale. And as we press up, keep breathing, but hold the bridge posture. If you want to clasp your hands underneath you, you can. Close your eyes and really sink into this posture. Let it be what it is in your body. Great. Nowhere to go. I'm going to grow quiet. And as you focus on your breath, when your body is ready to move into meditation and motion, follow it. Knowing that sometimes the back bend is the most yummy place to be, the heart opener. Feel the yumminess of the body moving you through the posture that it needs. And if you're still in bridge, continue to enjoy that bridge. We'll do 2 more breaths of meditation and motion or bridge. And as you're ready, slowly find your way into the knees of the chest, rocking side to side. Bringing your knees to a 90-degree angle, opening your arms wide into a T position. Take a nice deep inhale, exhale, roll those knees all the way to the left, stacking them one on top of the other one. Core is strong, looking all the way to the right. This is a nice deep twist. You want to make sure your core is engaged, that pelvic floor is strong, that belly button to the spine, protecting the low back. Breathing into it, find your breath. If you want to deepen this twist, take your left hand and just place it on top of the right knee and encourage it down. Breathe into it. Feel the rib cage expand. You're going to really feel it in the right side of the body. Releasing the hand. Inhaling, engaging that core, drawing the nose back to the center, and then bringing those knees back to the center, 90-degree angle. And then exhaling it, core is strong, other direction. Stacking those knees one on top of the other. If you have anything in the way, move it out of the way. Give your body space to open. Looking to the opposite hand. Breathing into it. Stacking those knees. If you want to deepen it, let that right hand come on top of the left knee. Encourage it down. Encourage that twist. Twisting is so yummy. If you find that you've had an overwhelming day, twist, wring it out. Let it all go. Softening into the twist. Inhaling, releasing the hands back open, drawing those knees back to center. Exhaling through the right leg, through the left leg. Point the toes, inhale those hands up overhead. Reach, 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 reach. Deep breath, let it go with a big sigh. Oh. And ask your body, is there anything else that I need today before I go to Shavasana? And if the answer is, no way, man, take me to Shavasana, then you might want to cover yourself up with a blanket. You might not. Depends upon how warm it is where you are. Find your way into last posture of the day, Shavasana. Let those feet fall open. Let the core soften. Let the shoulders release. The head and eyes grow heavy. Let the mind slip between here and there. This life isn't about slicing off the parts I don't like to be left with those I do. I choose the whole array, night and day. Ease and its opposite, the squeaky wheel and the grease can. Push any piece of life away, and a key that could have opened a door is lost, tossed out with the trash. I pray for the courage to receive the full catastrophe, however it appears to me, without needing to push back. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And if Shavasana's feeling really yummy, stay there. And if not, roll to your side, allowing yourself to come back to now. Coming into seated position. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Today,